Once your sketch is ready, transfer it onto the linoleum block. You can rub the back of your drawing with graphite, securing it in place with masking tape. Trace over your pencil lines with a ballpoint pen to transfer them onto the lino. By shading areas of tone you want white, you know where to carve. Colouring the block helps your brain to get used to this, as the parts you carve out will appear lighter than the uncut areas. Go over your pencil lines with a thick marker, as pencil lines can accidentally be rubbed off during the carving stage. Using a wooden bench hook, press your lino against it when carving. The bottom is pressed into the edge of the table to prevent slipping, whilst the angled top keeps your lino in place. Tuck yourself in so your belly is pressed up against the wooden bench hook. Lino cutters are very sharp, so to avoid cutting yourself, always carve away from your hands. You may need to hold the lino with your second hand, so make sure you are holding it to the side or behind your cutting tool. The tool is held comfortably with the handle in the palm of the hand, while the index finger guides from the top, exerting pressure. Hold the lino cutter with the handle in your palm and guide it with your index finger. The thumb keeps the tool in place by resting it on the side. The sharp blade removes a coil of lino as it is pushed forward. The angle you hold the tool at will determine whether the cutting tip moves forward in a level way as you push the tool forward. By raising or lowering your wrist, you can control this. Raise your wrist slightly to make a steeper angle, and the tool will go deeper into the lino. Lower your wrist slightly to bring the cutting tip up. Carve into the outline using a fine V tool. You don't need to make the deepest of cuts, because the brayer will only ink the top surface of the linoleum that I have left uncarved. Here I am going to show you how to use Turner's Burton clips, which are specifically designed to help you achieve accurate registration. Take your printing paper and place it on top of your template in the paper outline. Place 2 of your stripping tabs onto the pins so that they overlap the paper. They should make a clicking sound as they go into place. Stick your tabs down with masking tape. Decide how many prints you want to make. Number your prints from 1 to however you plan to make. Set up your printing area and keep ink in one spot. Spread ink to the width of your roller, creating a reservoir. Dip your ink into the ink reservoir and start rolling it out in the space below. Move the ink roller forward with slight downward pressure, then lift it back to the start and repeat. Once the ink is evenly spread on the roller, look to see if you have the right amount of ink. If there is too much ink on the roller, it will take on an orange peel texture. There should be a slight texture to the ink like sandpaper. It should look like the surface is glossy all over. Adjust if there's too much ink by removing some from the slab. Once your roller has an even layer of ink, transfer it onto your block. Roll in different directions to cover all corners. Recharge the roller with more ink as needed. Roll in different directions to cover all corners. Place your ink block using the registration sheet to align it to the paper. Hold the paper so it doesn't move and rub over the back of the block with your ink roller. You will need to press quite hard to transfer the ink. Check your progress by lifting the paper. Keep applying thin layers of ink to your block to add layers and build up a more solid block of colour. Use a smaller ink roller to focus on any areas which aren't printing correctly.